Is a pre-approval letter from a lender worth the paper it's written on? This is Gary Kent with Keller Williams, and I'll answer that question for you. Hi there, this is Gary Kent again. So the question is a pre-approval letter from a lender worth the paper it's written on? And of course, usually it's not even written on paper, it's a PDF document. And this is really relevant, I'd say very much relevant if you're selling your home, and also relevant if you're buying a home. So first I'll talk about it from a home seller's perspective. So you're selling your home, and if you have a good agent, your agent is going to require that there be a pre-approval letter from a lender, or a pre-qualification letter, basically a letter from a lender saying, we've looked at everything and they look like they'll get their loan. So the question is, how reliable is that? And I have found, in my experience, to say it's not very reliable. It really depends on the lender, and it's a bit of a roll of the dice, because if the lender that I don't know, they may have done their homework, they may be honest about it, or maybe they just wrote the letter quickly thinking, in my brief conversation with this person, they sounded good, so I'm going to go ahead and write this letter. So when I represent a home seller, I'm a lot stricter. Unless it's a very big down payment, they also have to get approved with the lender that I use. They don't necessarily have to go through a long process, but they have to have a conversation where he has to look over various documents. That's one thing. The second thing is I require seeing proof of funds to make sure that they actually have the money. And the third thing is I want to see that their credit scores to make sure they're sufficient, because I don't want to just trust the lender that I don't know, who may not be competent, may not have done the job right, etc. In representing my client, I want to make sure that the person is qualified. Now, if you're a home buyer, it still kind of comes into play that you want to make sure that the lender that you're working with actually asks you a lot of questions, asks you to provide documentation. Ideally, you go through an approval process. You don't want to have a 5-minute conversation and then have the lender write you a letter, because you could get, unfortunately, a denial or have a lot of bumps in the road down the road. So the key to all this really is, if you're selling a home, you want to work with a very good agent who's going to make sure that the buyer is qualified. And if you're buying a home, you want to make sure you're working with a lender who does their homework. So that is my tip of the day. If you are thinking of buying or selling a home, please call me. You can call me at 858-457-KENT, and Kent is 5368. Or you can email me, and that's Gary@GaryKent.com. Talk to you soon.